This portion of the CU podcast is brought to you by True Classic. Finding the perfect fitting t-shirt can get frustrating. The thing is either too tight around your gut or too big and boxy usually. True Classic wants to make it look easy, to look good and feel good. So their high quality and pocket friendly menswear is made with every man in mind. It's the True Classic way. So guys, no excuses. It's time to upgrade. In fact, over 2 million men already have. So we have an exclusive deal for a limited time. Get 25% off with their code CU Podcast at trueclassic.com.
Almost all men's t-shirts are designed to look good on a certain body type. Think like a skinny model with a six-pack. But most of us aren't packing anything but a few beers. And there's nothing wrong with that. Fellas, it's simple. You are wearing the wrong clothes. True Classics tees taper off towards the bottom, but they fit tight around the chest and shoulders. You can wear a True Classic tee with confidence. I struggle finding t-shirts that I like, and I do love to get plain t-shirts. I like to wear them as undershirts. I like to wear them undershirts like these. I'm wearing a True Classic tee right now, and it is buttery soft. I
actually wore this black one. Went to Frank's for the barbecue the other day, made some trout, and it's very comfy. This blend is fantastic. It feels great.
Yeah, and it's not overly hot. It's very breathable. Not only are you finally getting a t-shirt designed for the male body, but the first thing you'll notice is how soft it is. And True Classic doesn't just stop at tees. They are your one-stop shop for men's essentials. You can get polos and workout shirts with the same flattering fit to boxer briefs designed with a pouch to keep your bulge nice and comfortable.
All right.
All of their gear is top-notch quality at reasonable prices. They have a great pack builder on their website where you can custom bundle all of their essential products and save even more than the discount we're offering for you today. And for any of the big boys out there, they have long body options for the tall guys in up to triple XL on their staple colors. Whether you have abs or flabs, their clothes look great on all body types. Skinny dudes, big dudes, buff dudes, True Classic has you covered.
Time to get comfortable and get going. Upgrade your wardrobe with True Classic at 25% off at trueclassic.com with our code CU Podcast. Free shipping is included on purchases over $100. There's a 100% risk-free guarantee with a 30-day return policy. Stay classy with True Classic. All right, put the guidebook away. We got voicemails.
We do.
You go to anchor.fm/the CU Podcast. You leave us a voicemail. Keep it short and sweet, and I love it. And you're more likely to make it on the program if you do that. This first one is an interesting one.
Hey, Pat. Hey, Ian. This is Will out of Chattanooga. Just wanted to ask real quick if either of you ever did any wrestling EFeds back in the day, specifically the early aughts. I feel like Ian would be the most likely culprit to have done some EFeds. And if you have, were you guys any good at it? Just curious. Chat me up. Thanks, guys.
Chat you up, Will. Okay.
So I never did any EFeds in that sort of way where you basically role play.
Sure.
Never did anything like that. However, I
promos and stuff.
Yeah, I did, however, get really into doing like a fake fed in Fire Pro. That I would, run the matches and then kind of write up the results and post them.
That's pretty cool.
And my fed was BDP, Bottle Deposit Pro. And you basically, the championship belt was basically you would get, if you won the championship, you would get all the empty beer bottles and you could turn them in and take the money. That was your reward.
Oh.
Big players in...
there was what?
Big players in Bottle Deposit Pro were Street Clothes Goldberg and Darkside Sid.
Was this G, Fire Pro G
on
PlayStation?
This was probably actually D.
D.
Yeah.
Which came out before G.
No, after G.
After G. Okay.
D was the first. D was the first one that upgraded to the bigger sprites.
The only one that did, I think, at that point, right? Did it go back to afterwards?
No.
Oh, it did.
Yeah,
okay.
The sprite style has pretty much stayed the same since.
They're slightly bigger sprites.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I just,
Street Clothes Goldberg one of the variants? Like
it was one of the variants.
So I remember. Yeah, he's in like black pants.
He's in like a black shirt and like gray pants or whatever. So yeah, he was specifically Street Clothes Goldberg. He never wrestled in any normal clothes.
Street Clothes.
And Darkside Sid was just a Sid Vicious edit that I made, but I put I layered on like I don't know, someone's like face paint or something.
Okay.
Like they were the big rivals.
They're the big rivals?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
So that was fun.
I never did one. Okay, the next one I did not find a comment, which means I either should have deleted it or we'll see.
Hey guys, Jamie from Toledo here once again. I had a question for each of you, but I'm shelving it for the time being. I just rewatched Dark Side of the Ring, and one episode stood out to me. The episode about Herb Abrams and the UWF reminded me so much of Tommy and the Amico. Both were marks who were just going to become the biggest and best with pie-in-the-sky ideas. Both had to prove their haters wrong, and quite frankly, both were con men in the end. If you have seen the series, what is your favorite episode? Thanks, guys.
I have not seen it. It sounds like it's right up my alley.
No, it sounds like it's a great show, and I haven't done it.
I did, I think, a couple of seasons at least.
Mm-hmm.
I know nothing about the UWF. I don't ever remember it being on TV. I don't think it was in my obviously it was in the Northeast. Know nothing about the history of it. So that's when I probably want to check out UWF. You know anything about UWF or not?
No,
really?
I don't. But
Not for like what, 3-4 years? I don't think it was on for that long.
yeah,
Nice.
that's the one that they found the prototype game for, right? Remember the prototype wrestling game that was found?
No, that was the WCW one before it became WCW.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Pat and Ian. It's Dave here from Edinburgh, Scotland. I wanted to get your guys' opinion on arcade bars. Here in Scotland, there aren't a lot of arcades left. They're mostly the redemption machines that Pat mentioned recently, claw games, coin pushers. But there is a really growing trend of arcade bars and kind of nightclubs and stuff like that. That have some really cool machines that you wouldn't expect. So yeah, just wanted to get your opinions on arcade bars and clubs. Thanks, guys.
I like them. I mean, it keeps arcades alive. I mean, if you didn't have them, you'd have so many more machines thrown out or not tended to. Classic machines. I mean, it's what revitalized arcades.
I like them. I do, and everything Pat says is true. My issue is that they've kind of become the de facto go-to, and I understand drinks bring people in, but like as a person who goes out and plays pinball 3-4 times a week, I am getting sick of every place I have to go to being a bar. It smells like beer that's loud with loud people. The loudness is not such a big deal. I just wish every time I went out to play pinball, it didn't have to be associated with alcohol.
Sure.
I would love a coffee shop arcade.
Yeah.
I
mean, I think it's insane that, Frank was telling me back in like the 80s and early 90s, there was an arcade in our beach town here. We don't have a beach town arcade.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. People used to, Wonderland. That's a new place now that is down there. They reopened it, but Wonderland used to be the arcade.
Yeah. It's just, I guess it's harder and harder to make money off of just straight up playing games versus redemption, claw machines, point systems like a
beer, alcohol,
drinks,
food. No, I get it too. I wish it wasn't.
And there was always redemption games. Even I talk about 80s and 90s.
Not as many, but they were always
there. Was always ticket. There's always skee ball. There was always coin pushers to get points. They always existed. There's always. Hell, they had. I love that they had like literally like the same quality slot machines at Atlantic City. My grandma used to have all her little coin. When you actually still have the coins and they would weigh them, the same with the tickets, and you get the one-armed bandits. They had that. That's how they made a lot of money out of redemption.
If slot machines still dispensed coins and you still had to put a coin in and pull the handle, I would actually probably play slot machines a lot more. I have no interest in this tap your card, hit a button on a touchscreen, and watch shit.
I'm trying. When I went back to Seaside in June, I don't think they have any slot machine redemption games, and I'm talking like mid to late 80s. That was the majority of redemptions. You'd have rows of slot machines with the old people loved them because it was like, oh, you're gambling, but it's not money. But you're still giving away money.
Yeah.
God, I wish I had them. My cousin might have them. There was cups for every arcade had their own cups to hold them in. Yeah. They're awesome. And I feel like getting them all.
That's why I like Quarter World.
Coin Castle, Sonny and Ricky's has theirs. Lucky Leo's had theirs. Casino Pier had theirs. They all had their own stuff like that.
Quarter World up in Portland has their own little cups for keeping your coins in. And I have like 4 of them at home. I love them.
Don't make me go out and be a fucking Seaside arcade collector. I was just
going to say you're going to start collecting cups.
I'll start doing that because my cousin probably has them at his shore house. His parents, they probably have them like lined up from there. Next one here.
Hello, Pat. Hello, Ian. This is Paul from Miami. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I have a question for both of you. I've never been to a retro gaming conference, and I was wondering if you have any advice on which one to attend for the first time.
Easy. I have two. You can do Long Island or you can do Portland, and you're going to have a great time at both.
Those are your picks?
Those are my picks. I do think Portland is maybe, in terms of if you want to see people, I think right now more people are probably going to Portland. It is the big one, I guess, in the
big
industry.
Yes,
but
it's the heartbeat.
Long Island is a gorgeous, wonderful convention that I can't recommend enough.
Yes. But if you're talking about if you want to shop till you drop, like the number of vendors at Portland. is insane.
Yeah, Portland.
You're talking over 100 retro gaming vendors easily. Like,
If you,
it's nuts.
Portland has great exhibits too. Video Game History Foundation usually does a great museum every year based on a certain topic. The NES one was magnificent. But I do think there's a lot of interesting, the space and the exhibits at Long Island are just, it's unlike anything you've ever really seen.
I guess what I'd say is whatever one's closer to you, like there's a couple in Florida I know that are smaller coming up in November. Just maybe start small. If you have the money to travel, do it, but have a budget. But yeah, try a regional one. Southeast Game Exchange, not too far from Florida, South Carolina. That was a pretty good one. There's a lot of good ones out there that you can check out. It's just whatever's in your region.
Hi, Pat. Hi, Ian. This is Max from Ossining, New York.
Thank you, Max.
In the last episode, you talked about the Queen pinball machine, and Pat mentioned my favorite Queen deep cut song, Ogre Battle.
I did.
Pat, what is your favorite Queen deep cut? It can't be anything that would play on the radio or in the greatest hits CDs. Thanks, and keep up the great work.
Well, here's the issue. The Queen has like 4 greatest hits CDs. That's the problem. Like once you get to the mid 70s when they really established their style, mid 70s to like early 80s, like a third of their songs are like on like one of the greatest hits albums. It seems like maybe like it's a fairly high percentage. I think Spread Your Wings is something that wasn't a big hit, but probably should have been. It's what was that? Was that late 70s? I don't know what album was on. I don't know what a lot of albums these songs are on. Queen had a lot of albums. They had like one album a year almost.
Oh yeah.
They were prolific.
They very much were.
So Spread Your Wings, I think they had a music video, early music video where it just shows them playing a fucking song, like 70s music video. And that's like almost like a story anthem song, almost like Don't Stop Believing from Journey. It like tells a story. Which Queen didn't usually do songs like that. So that's an interesting one. Spread Your Wings. And if it came out on one of their greatest hits, forgive me, but I don't think it was on there. Next one.
Hey, Pat. Hey, Ian. This is Jedediah from Maine. I'm reaching out with an odd conversation I just had. I purchased an NES off of Craigslist way too cheap. This thing was missing half its screws. It was stripped. The seller said he didn't know anything about it. Not true. Obviously, the thing was dead and no fixing it. So I want my brother to have a new system, and I head on to my local game store. They say they don't source original NES hardware anymore. Instead, they lean into those like $40 Chinese knockoff ones. Not even like the Hyperkin consoles. They say it's because the NES is not reliable anymore, and they would rather just give their customers something better. That to me sounds more like a profit thing, or maybe easier to source the part. I don't think the NES is unreliable. What do you guys think?
The NES is not unreliable. It's a workhorse in terms of as long as the connector is clean. Like it's a workhorse.
Fairly easy to service. But here's the deal. A lot of people don't want to clean their cartridges.
Sure.
Really, NES maintenance it really does boil down to getting that cartridge connector on the inside real clean, making sure those pins are nice, and then just cleaning your games when you play. That's really it.
You can pull the pins up a little bit.
So that's really all it is. However,
but if it's the board,
right? But it's usually not. The thing with this is at Luna. Yes, the NES is reliable. Yes, it's easily to service. You are selling to a mass market audience, a lot of who haven't played these games in a long time. They expect everything to just turn on with the push of a button like a PlayStation or something does. They don't want to fiddle with anything. And you can tell them all day long that they need to clean their games, and a lot of them don't. And they'll come back the next day and I'll be like, did you clean the game? And they're like, yeah, I cleaned it. And I'll grab it and I'll grab a Q-tip and I'll clean it. I'm like, this is filthy. Mm-hmm. Like your game is filthy. You're ruining your system by doing that. So I understand their frustration. That said, we always carried NESs because as a retro video game store, you are clearly catering. You're going to cater to a lot of collectors, and a lot of collectors aren't going to want anything third party no matter what. And that's fine. I don't shit on the Hyperkin stuff as much as other people do because for a lot of people, it's fine. It's not the highest quality stuff. It does, some of it does fail. But they have good warranties on that stuff, and
they don't cost a huge amount.
Every place, any place worth its salt that you go to is going to give you, a 90-day warranty on that, and you're covered. Is it perfect? No, but for a lot of people who want to just play some Mario 3, it's the easiest, most foolproof option, and it's going to be much less of a headache for a lot of people, including the sellers and the buyers.
For just a regular, let's see, a Retron 1 is like $25.
Yeah, they're cheap as fuck.
You can buy them all. Yeah, they're just AV, but if that's what you need to replace, like for most people, that's fine.
Yeah, like I said, not everyone needs to have the best picture and the most accurate portrayal of the game. They just want to go down memory lane.
Sure. How dare they?
Hi, Pat. This is Rebecca from Terrytown, New York.
Terrytown.
I love your videos so much. They really make me feel better when I'm feeling like anxious or sad or whatever. So to me, this is actually the completely necessary podcast. So my question to you is, since you're probably not listening to your own podcast or videos for fun, what do you do to silence the inner demons?
Inner demons? Inner demons? Wow, it sounds like I'm going to kill someone if I don't do something. Ian, what do you do?
For me, it's pretty easy, actually. I am a big fan of white noise machines. I have a nice one that I keep by my computer at work. It's small. It's easy to move into the bedroom when I want. When I need to silence my head and focus, I turn on white noise, brown noise, something like that. I've also found that, and this is kind of weird, I've also found that using earplugs has been pretty good for me too. I don't know what it is, but if I can't, there's something about that silence you get when you plug up your ears.
Yeah.
That it's different. It's not, you can sit in a silent room and then you can sit in a silent room and put earplugs in and it feels different. And that oftentimes helps get me back on track. I don't listen to podcasts. I can't. I've tried a ton. I've never listened to an episode of this one or Extra Napkins. I can't focus on a podcast. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I fall asleep a lot of times, either sounds of waves. There's one on Amazon Prime that's great. It's like a low wave sound. It's so good. They just go to a beach and actually record, and you get a black screen.
Non-looping noise is fantastic.
Yeah, you got one off Amazon. It's like 30 different sounds on it. It's non-looping. I don't know how long it goes before it loops or it comes back. It's got to be probably several hours, I guess, for you would know. But yeah, white noise, brown noise is good. Waves. Or just turning on Knight Rider and just having the wave of nostalgia, speaking of waves, just wash over me. I do like 2 or 3 more here.
Hey guys, it's Daryl from Buffalo again.
Hey, Daryl.
Pat, you talk about downgrading your collection as time goes on. After you get done doing that, what are you going to be keeping and what are you going to be collecting for after you do that? All right, guys, have a good day. See you soon.
I'm going to be keeping most of the NES stuff, not all. I'll have the whole library probably still, but like I have all these box consoles. I already started selling them at SoCal. You probably couldn't believe I sold them. I sold a couple of NES box console variants there.
Did you?
Yeah, I sold an action set.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Regular.
I was thinking Long Island. I'm like, no, you didn't. Yeah, SoCal.
Yeah, I sold the console set. The one that didn't come with anything. I sold the orange gun action set because that one's easier to find than the gray one before the cutoff. TurboGrafx, I fucking adore the TurboGrafx, obviously. That stuff's not getting sold at all because it's also very small. That's the whole collection.
It's easy
right
collection
there.
to hold on
Except
to.
for the fucking gigantic, this thing is a monstrosity behind me, the CD unit.
Yeah.
And I have the Turbo Duo in the box that I got from Nintendo Dan, which I think what he said was capped. I got to follow up on that. So I'm keeping that stuff. Probably the Master System stuff. I have a weird fondness for the Master System. So
Again, a small.
small library. You can see right there. It's tiny. And then I'll probably keep. No, there's only 3 or 4 box variants. I'll keep the Master System 2. It's small. I'll keep the regular Master System box, which I don't know where it is, but that's not it there. That's the 3D one. So I'll keep that stuff for sure. Then obviously I'm going to keep all the weird shit. I'm going to keep the M82. I'll keep the fucking Sega. I love the kiosk stuff. Like when I have room, I'll probably like actually set up the kiosks. I think that'll be a cool idea to actually have the Sega kiosk M82.
Absolutely.
They want to have one on Long Island. The test, some like the test station, I'm not in love with. Never was.
I love the test station. Love it.
See, stuff like that.
It's so cool.
I think it's cool, but I don't. I got that. I was forced to buy that to get the M82. I hate to say it.
I think I like the test station more than I like the M82, just because it's neat. It's weird. What do I do? It's more interesting to me.
Okay. Anyway, so I'm gonna do that, and then what am I gonna get rid of? Anything that if I have to, I'm gonna do the whole like hoarders thing. If you have to think about it more than like 3 seconds, sort of sell it thing, I'm gonna do that for like individual games, like in the libraries where like, oh, I don't know, do I really need fucking look at Genesis game? Do I need fucking Quackshot? Yes or no? Do I need Populous? Yes or no? And if I don't have a do I need F22? You know, like, and then that's going to sort of guide me.
You don't.
And I'm not even going to. I'll probably not care about even the availability or rarity that much. I'll just be like, well, even if I make a mistake, I can buy it back.
Yeah.
Like I felt like of all the stuff at SoCal, I felt bad about one thing that I sold that was like, you know what, I really should have kept that, and I can always buy it again. And I haven't bought it yet. So like that's where that's how I'm going to sort of guide.
Which one was it?
I don't want to say because everyone's going to buy it. I don't want to say it.
Okay.
Because it doesn't go for a lot of money, but it's not. It's a little hard to find, but it doesn't go for a lot of money. So I'll tell you off here.
All right, let's wrap it up. Let's get one more in here.
You want to do one more?
Let's get one more.
Hey, Pat and Ian. Tony from Massachusetts.
Tony.
I have a food-related question for the both of you. Sorry, Pat. I know. Intermittent fasting. Pat, is there a favorite dish of yours that Frank prepares for your get-togethers during the holidays? I know you've mentioned you guys do the 7 fishes. And as a fellow Italian, I'd love to know.
Yeah.
And Ian, is there a dish that people request for you to make to bring to special occasions or to the holidays? Thanks, guys.
Vani will honestly, I think she just likes seeing what I come up with. I don't do a whole lot of repeat dishes, but the one thing that she probably requests of me, there's 2 that she requests of me very often. The tofu that I make, the way I braise my tofu. She loves it, and she will request that by name. And she also loves the way, and I bring this up all the time, she loves the way I cook eggplant. She was like the big eggplant hater, and I turned her around like 100% with really good eggplant when we first started dating, and she's been a fiend for eggplant ever since.
Okay. Favorite dish that Frank... Oh, God, I mean, there's so many good stuff that Frank makes a really good burger.
Makes a great sauce. Makes a fucking great sauce.
Of course, the sauce. Come on, forget about it. The sauce is great.
His sauce with sweet Italian sausage was just. I think about it.
His sister makes the really good eggplant dish around Christmas. I forget what it's called, where you put the chopped little carrots in it, and oh my God, where it's like mushed up the eggplant. Oh my! And it has like you put like a red sauce on top. Oh my God. Fucking starving now.
This was a good one to choose as the last question.
Frank makes really good sausage and peppers. I actually brought that up to him a couple weeks ago. I said, Frank, it's been like years since you made sausage and peppers. Because he gets a nice Italian. He gets the Italian rolls from Mona Lisa.
Yeah, those rolls are so good.
Does that. And then he makes, like, Frank is a really good cook in general. Like, he makes like good, just like, he'll make like a chicken and put like oranges in it, like orange seasoning, and it's delicious. Just like a chicken, put it in the oven. And he does the potatoes with rosemary on them, rosemary like seasoning, and he put them.
Rosemary oven potatoes, amazing. Great tip.
Fucking great.
Parboil, not parboil necessarily, but boil the potatoes a little bit first. Drain the water, let them sit in the steam, and they get a little mushy a little mashy on the sides.
Little mashy.
And then you bake them in the oven, and they get so fucking crispy from that. I have no idea
how do you slice them when they're mushy?
So you basically chop them up, you dice them.
Oh, you dice them first. Okay.
Yeah. You boil them for maybe 4 minutes.
Okay.
So that they're still pretty firm on the inside, but they start to cook a bit around the edge. You shake the pot a couple of times, and it kind of mashes up the outside of the potatoes. And for some reason, that results when you bake them, it results in insanely crispy oven potatoes. So fucking good. So good.
See you potato cast right here. Well, that's good. I'm starving.
Me too. I'm definitely going to go get that eggplant sandwich.
Jeez. Oh, we skipped a question. We can do it real quick. I skipped one on the list. We'll do like a 10-second one. Sorry, I skipped it here. What happened to it?
My stomach is grumbly.
I know. I went to the food one probably by instinct, and I shouldn't have done it. But one more.
Hey guys, Green from Costa Rica. This is Francisco. I would like to know, what do you think about a port of Kid Icarus Uprising for Nintendo Switch? I mean, the original one was great, but I mean, the control was not good. Aiming with a touchscreen is a crime. I think the game had really good on-rail shooter sections and great on-foot battles. And I think that's the only thing it needed, a better controller. So I don't know. What do you think about this?
It's one of the best Nintendo games, and it's one of the best. I think it's one of the better Nintendo games in concept in a long time, and I hate playing it because the fucking weird shoehorned in control scheme was absolutely miserable. I would have suffered through it, but as a lefty, it was even worse. And I couldn't fucking play it. I would really love to see that game get a Switch port. There is nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, holding that game back from being ported to another system. None of the control scheme was necessary. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. I think it's a real lost opportunity that they're not porting it.
Listen to Ian. Get on the Nintendo. Somewhat simple port. Just change the controls on that one. Let's do it.